Valdez. Those two big bodies are going at it, Jim. And, we talked to the Sparta coach about his field goal unit, and he said he would go with it if he had to.
But he hasn't kicked one yet this year.
Exactly.
Clock rolls on. 40 seconds to go here. 1st and 10 for Sparta. They trail by 8. Ball at the 26. Here's Potts. He'll look to throw. Potts feels some pressure by Anderson. Potts on the run. Looking, lets it fly towards the end zone. He's got a man, but it's short, and it's picked off by Casey.
So Rashard Casey played center field on that play like he does so well. He waited, and then Rashard Casey did what he does best. He got up there with those big, long arms, and he picked that one out from the sky.
Anthony, you got to think one thing. Potts threw that ball into a stiff wind. The ball was just held up, and Casey was able to respond on the ball. He just didn't get it up and over. And if you take a look at the flags right now, he was thrown right into the wind on that one.
He might have even misjudged it. You're right, Jim. But Casey did a good job of staying where he was, and he waited for that ball and came right down into his hands. And I think Casey didn't believe, him being a quarterback, that Potts could throw that ball over his head.
I think so. And Casey, he just has confidence in himself to close on any ball that's thrown.
Now, this is a situation where you just probably want to take a knee, but make sure you take it knee forward, Jim.
23 seconds left. Casey goes right down, surges ahead. Look at Casey. He's not going to just take an easy knee. He's going to drive it on forward, gets the ball outside the 5-yard line.
Well, he's 6'4", so when he lays down, there you go. You got about, some good distance there for Rashard when he decides to.
Clock rolls on. Sparta's not going to stop it. Neither is Hoboken. And that's going to wrap up this first half. And a good one. A tough ball game. The only difference in this game so far, the 82-yard scamper by Ravon Anderson. As Casey comes off. That was a big interception by Casey, Anthony, because Sparta was on the move.
And look at Hoboken walking off the field. Not walking off the field with a lot of enthusiasm. They just kind of trot off the field and ponder what happened in that first half. Somebody, I'm sure, will talk to this Hoboken team in the locker room, and his name will be Ed Stinson. I know he'll fire this team up, and for Sparta, well, if you're their coach, Jim, you got to say, hey, we played a good half. We're in this game. A lot of people didn't believe that we could play with this team, and Sean Brown is getting it done on the ground.
Brown's getting it done on the ground. Sparta walks off again, and they only trail by 8. 24 minutes to go for the state title. We're back with halftime.
I help you help yourself. Bevine at
Tell you something, this kid's a Sherman tank. He's the firing Jim Hague rolled into a ball. They can't find a way to stop this kid.
Well, I know you saw another kid play about 15 years ago, but is he not a little Greg Hayward, a little Ironhead?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I said, this kid is something else. I think it's important that Ravon Anderson cut to the outside and to get that big, long touchdown run, gave Hoboken a little breathing room. But I'll tell you, Sparta comes right back, and Casey comes up with an interception. I think it's important that Hoboken has to score here, because if they score, then let them run the clock, because they're going to get into a ball control game here. But I think Eddie's got a couple of plays up his sleeve that he's going to use in the second half. But this is a championship game with championship caliber teams.
Ravon Anderson, 123 yards on 9 carries. Very talented junior.
Well, we have one of the top recruiters in the nation here from North Carolina, Tim Bruce, who's been on Rashard Casey all year.
A New Jersey guy.
A New Jersey guy, and I'll tell you, the Chicago Tribune named him the #1 recruiter. He's a guy, Brewster, New Jersey guy, that Rutgers should be looking at, because, forget about these guys, 55, 50 years old. You need a young guy. I'll tell you what, if you don't have a guy to go out and get your players, I don't care what coach you have.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Tim Brewster can convince Rashard Casey, if he is the head coach of Rutgers, to go to Rutgers, then Tim Brewster should be the head coach.
I'll tell you
because
what,
if he brings that type of player into that program, then that's the man you want to run your team.
It's scary that Gruninger is, going to have any impact at all, because his track record of pitching coaches isn't too good. And the president, Lawrence, over there, he comes from that world-famous football program, Tulane. So with him and both of them picking, I think we got the brain-dead brothers working. But I hope somebody intercedes and they get a young, energetic guy from New Jersey, a guy that wants a job, go out and get the right plays. Because I'll tell you what, if Rashard Casey, he's still waiting, is looking at a lot of teams, I'd love to see him go to Rutgers and open up a good football purple. Ironically, they're the same type of colors.
And maybe he'll take Wilbur Valdez along with him, another kid who's having a good half.
Tremendous year. But they got to make an adjustment on this kid 45. There's no doubt about it.
Let me take you back to another game yesterday that you were at. Your comments, Hackensack and North Bergen, quickly.
It had to be one of the most bitterest losses in Vinny Esqui's coaching career. From end line to end line, they dominated the game. They doubled their yardage. But you know what? Hackensack, you got to give them credit. Somehow they found a way to win. Unfortunately, there were 12 men on the field when the guys scored. But you know what? They still had enough chances. I couldn't understand North Bergen. All of a sudden, they're coming out with a Florida State offense running more high-profile plays than Florida State. I just felt since they were superior, they should have just went right at them with November and just battle and then an occasional pass. But, it was a tough loss, and, you got to tip your hat for Hackensack for finding a way to win.
Exactly. Second half prediction real quick.
I think Hoboken is, I told Ed Stinson on Wednesday that no matter what happened, they're my number one team. They proved it. They're my number one team in the Far Corners poll. They were undefeated going into the game. They will be undefeated after the game. Ed Stinson has been my choice for Coach of the Year, along with Joe Marcello of Dickinson and Rashad Casey. He doesn't have to throw one pass, and he's by far the best football player, athletic-wise, I've seen ever come out of Hudson County.
I agree with you on that one. And if Hoboken wins today, will they move up to number one, or do you think they
No, the Star Ledger, Bruce Moran, does a great job. He already told St. Joe's they're the number one team.
What about the AP poll? Has Hoboken number 2 in it?
Well, you know what? They're going to have to score 30 points in the second half and really come away with an impressive blowout for them to overtake St. Joe's. Yeah, you can't bring down a team when they win, no matter how much you would like to do so.
Well, thanks a lot for your
stay
help.
away from the touch football games at Giant Stadium, because in case they need the field goal kicker in the second half, you're out of action, baby.
Thanks a lot, Bob, for your time with us all year long. And when we come back, we'll have the second half, Hoboken and Sparta. Hoboken leads 14-6.
All right.
You see the wind right there. Ball in. And Anthony, did you get to talk to any of your coaches?
Well, Stinson said this is Hoboken football right here. Special teams and then defense.
Sparta will take the ball first and start off the half. The kick is fielded by Dietz at about his 5. Dietz comes up, shakes a couple tackles. Dietz is still working. He's going to run out of room. Tackled there by number 55.
Dan Bonilla.
Danny Boy.
Dan Bonilla with a nice tackle. And so Sparta starts off about the 21 or 22-yard line. Actually, going to start it right on the 20. So excellent coverage by Hoboken, and Ed Stinson, the coach of Hoboken, said it starts with special teams. We want to back them up, and then we want them to go 3 and out, and we want the football.
They will have to stop Big Sean Brown. Brown with a 100-yard first half and the touchdown. He was very impressive. Here's Justin Potts, 1st and 10. First play of the third quarter, he goes to Sean Brown. Brown off the left side, shakes the tackle by Anderson, but then the pursuit catches up to him. Brown is tackled after about a 2-yard pickup.
I asked Ed Stinson how he was going to shut down Sean Brown. He had no answer for me, and he looked like he was a little concerned about number 45, but he just said, we got to tackle him better. And I think that's what they did right there, Jim. Ravone Anderson got a piece of him, but he got some help from the rest of the guys. Wilbur, Valdez, Steve Beerson, Rory Prelo, all there, and that's what it's going to take to tackle 45. It's going to take about 4 Red Wings.
On second down, here's Potts. Third quarter just underway. Sparta trails by 8. Potts looks to throw. Potts out to the flats, in and out of the hands, intended for number 31, Mike Manessy. Potts now 2 of 8 on the day, completed 2 passes in the first half for 21 yards, but he's had a couple of drops, and Manessy should have had that one.
Yeah, Justin Potts rolled out, nice pass off the run, put it right there, but, well, Manessy...
My fault, Mike. That would have been a spectacular catch. Manessy extended out, and that was a true incompletion.
Again, Jim, Sparta throwing into the wind, it looks like.
They'll have the wind at their backs for the fourth quarter. Here's Potts. 2 of 8 on the day, Justin Potts. This time, fakes the pitch, hands it to Brown. Brown with room off the left side. Brown fights his way towards the marker. He had to get to the 30-yard line. We'll see if he got there.
I don't know, Jim. It looks like he's just short.
He will be short, and Pat Shea calls in the punting unit. Not going to take any chances. He'll be well short, about 1.5 yards short of the first down.
Hoboken does what they want to do. They wanted to get Sparta out, 3 and out, but Sean Brown gave it everything he could. Juan Lopez finally brings him down.
Here's Kelly Stevens to punt. Terso and Casey are back. Stevens hits a short one. Ball will bounce at the 50, takes an excellent bounce. Ball will roll all the way down to the 35-yard line. That punt, 45 yards.
So good job by
Check
Sparta.
that, 35 yards. My fault. A little bad on the math right there, but
That's okay. You're from St. Joseph, Montville. You're allowed to make that mistake.
so
You got to be feeling good today.
Hey,
Your high school, your former high school, looks like they will be voted the #1 team in New Jersey, unless, like Ed Ford said, the Hoboken come out and score 30 points in his half.
well, it wasn't as impressive of a victory as some said it would be. DePaul came to play, but St. Joe's gutted it out. And here's Hoboken with their first possession of the second half. They lead by 8. Casey has yet to throw a pass. Hands off to Terso. Terso looks for the right side, can't find it. Picks up about 2, tackled on the play by number 58, Matt Collins.
Matt Collins having a good half. Also, they got some good play. Did Sparta from number 55.
Matt Collins, a big kid, 6'3", 200-pound junior, and you mentioned Mark Mastrandria. He had a good
5'10",
half also.
200 pounds for Mark.
Take a look at the replay. Here's Casey on 2nd down and 8. Casey, he keeps it this one. Room off the right side. Casey tries to find the sideline. Closed down nicely, real fast by number 12, Jeff Tauber. And Tauber, a senior, really shut down that hole fast, Anthony.
Well, Jim, if I told you coming into the state playoffs and into the finals that Sparta would do an excellent job on Rashard Casey, you'd probably think that Sparta had an excellent chance to win this game. And right now it's 14-6, and that's exactly what's going on. They've kind of quieted Rashard.
Casey in the first half, 3 carries for just about 5 yards. Really not too many attempts for him. That was his first attempt of the second half. But here's a 3rd down and 4. Casey hands off to Anderson, the second back through. Anderson looking for the first down. Second effort. Rayvon Anderson gets it.
Rayvon Anderson now, he starts up what he did in the first half where he left off. He ran for over 120 yards in the first half, and now, like you said, second effort. Drives those legs, never quits, and gets a first down.
Take another look. Anderson looked like he was going to be bottled up and stopped for this one.
Good job
right here. Spins
Bolden.
out of the tackle. Outstanding job. Mark Mastrandria, the leading tackler for Sparta, had his hands on him. He's not going to get out of the grasp of Mark too often, but Mr. Anderson was able to. First down, ball about the 47. Here's Anderson again, this time left side, trying to work his way. Ball came loose. Anderson with his second fumble of the day, and the Spartans got it.
Well, the ball just popped loose out of the pile. We'll have to see how it came loose, but Sparta gets a big turnover, Jim. And again, look at the Hoboken crowd. Just stunned right now.
Second fumble of the day for Anderson, the 3rd total for Hoboken. And Sparta will take over on their own 47-yard line. So Anderson, after he got the first down, next carry, coughs it up. And the Spartans will take over, trailing by 8. Justin Potts, the 5'10 senior, stands over center. Potts gives it to Brown, the second back through. Brown met by Wilbur Valdez. And there's some physics right there going at you. Brown coming at 220, met by Valdez, who goes at 235. And that was a little collision.
And how do you slow down Sean Brown? You make sure Wilbur Valdez is there right in the hole waiting for him.
2-yard pickup by Brown. Brings up second down.
I think Hoboken might have had something to say, too, to number 2, Wilbur Valdez, trying to let him know that he's a senior and this is his last game.
2nd and 8. Here's Potts. Potts, back to pass. Potts flushed out right, being chased. Potts, he'll keep it. Potts goes out of bounds. Anderson got him. Picked up about 2 on the play, but a good job by the secondary. The coverage was on. Potts had to keep it. And Anderson, no rest for the weary on defense.
Ron Anderson got him finally, but how about Rory Prillo, big number 1? How unfair is this? He's trying to chase down Potts, and a nice block on one of the Hoboken defenders. It looked like it was also, again, it was number 55, Mark Mastrandria. Oh, no, actually it was number 71, Chris Smith, with a nice block out there for his quarterback.
So Potts, 2 for 8 so far in a passing situation. Third down with the long count, tries to draw Hoboken, doesn't. Little handoff to Brown. Brown trying to fight for yardage. Gets close to the first down, but he will not get there. He will be short.
Decision time.
Absolutely. A little decision for Pat Shea. We're into the third quarter. 7 minutes left. A fourth down and a long one. And when you got a guy like Sean Brown in your backfield, it makes you think about it.
And it does, because Sean Brown has been able to push the Hoboken Red Wings.
And the Sparta offense is staying right on the field. They're going to go for it.
Hoboken hasn't probably seen a running back this powerful and big all year. They've probably, Mike Madrano of St. Peter's, strong running back, and they see number 72.
Lee Kwan being attended to.
Lee Kwan being attended to, and hopefully Lee's okay.
Sparta's going to call a timeout. Patty Shea wants to talk about this one. Every drive counts in a game with the magnitude of this one, and you want to have the right call in there. Even though we're only in the third quarter, you lose the timeout. You see some of the Sparta faithful right there, dressed in the blue and white. We'll step aside for a timeout here. It's 4th and 1 at JFK. Will the Red Wings hold, or will Sparta's drive continue? Come on back.
In today's stressful world, it's important to take time.
And we are back. 4th down and 1. You'd think that Brown would get the ball here, but you never know. Justin Potts stands over center. Ball is inside the 45-yard line. 4th and 1. Here we go. Potts gives it to Brown, right side. Potts working. Did his momentum carry past the stick? It'll come down to the spot.
I don't think he got it, Jim. I don't think he's going to get a favorable spot. Louis Tarso, look at Louis, number 20, one of the littlest guys on the field, but he's got the biggest heart. He was one of the guys that got there for Hoboken, and I think they're going to just be short, but
comes down to 2 words, forward progress right here. Referees spot the ball. They're going to call for a measurement.
Watch the penetration by Hoboken. Louis Tarso comes in low. That's how you have to tackle this big guy. If you try and tackle him high, you lose. And he also got some help from 55, Dan Bonilla. And it's going to be real close. And like I said, Jim, I didn't think he got it.
And he did not. The measurement comes up short, and you can credit 175-pound Louis Tarso with a textbook tackle on a big man coming forward. He took him low, held him up, and everybody came along with the gang tackle. And Sparta does not get the first down. Red Wings take over with good field position, ball on about their own 43-yard line. Third quarter, 6:40 to go. Cablevision of Hudson County bringing you the Group 3 Section 1 state championship. Casey on first down, hands it off to Valdez, wraps the ball up with 2 arms, and you got to think right now by looking at Hoboken that they're thinking we don't want to fumble any more of these balls.
Well, Adam Hoja, number 56, with good penetration, came in and found Valdez right away, and so good job by Sparta. They show that they can play some good stingy defense, and they need a hold right now on Hoboken. For Hoboken, though, you wonder when they're going to maybe give it to number 20, Louis Tarso. He's been a game breaker for them all year long when he's been healthy.
Casey yet to attempt the pass. Casey rolls left, looking for room. He's got a swarm of people to get around, and he's not going to get there. They close down the corners once again on Rashard Casey. Leading the way was Jeff Tauber.
They strung it out. They got Casey. Something, I think, went wrong for Casey. He was looking for something, and I don't know if it was a broken play or not, but he just looked like it was a mix-up. And he was looking for something, and it wasn't there.
I think Ed Stinson was telling Casey, you got to turn it upfield faster, a little quicker decision on that play. His hesitation enabled the defense to get the pursuit and just close down every lane that was available. Casey had virtually nowhere to go right there. So here we are, 3rd and long. Loss of 6 on the play brings up big 3rd down and 15. Casey looking, rolls left. Casey looking for the corner. Casey looking for room. He'll make up the yardage he lost, but that's about it. And that's going to bring up fourth down. Excellent job by Sparta's defense after not getting the fourth down to hold right here.
Well, we said high school football is a game of emotion, and you look at the crowd, they're kind of quiet right now, kind of waiting for Hoboken to kind of pour it on, and Sparta's done a good job coming into this field and taking the crowd out of the game. And right now Sparta feels like they have things going the way they want, as Casey got outside, but it was good defense by number 20 for Sparta, who kind of slowed up Casey and let Mistretta knock him out of bounds. And for Sparta, that was Mike Thomas.
Here's Keon Walker's punt. Going to be fielded by Justin Potts, the QB back there. He's going to be tackled right away at his 30. Who was it? Lou Terso, number 20. The guy does it all.
Oh, Louis Terso, if you notice special teams, and some people love to watch players on special teams, he's always the first guy down there. For some reason, nobody blocks 20, or 20 just refuses to be blocked.
Lou Terso, you'll see on the coverage, coming in right side of your screen. Louis Terso, a guy who rarely steps over the white line onto the sidelines. He plays special teams, offense, defense, sells hot dogs. Anything you ask him to do, Lou Terso will do it.
Good kid, Louis Terso, and he will be missed here at Hoboken when this game is over. It will be his last one.
4:40 to go in the third quarter. Potts hands off on first down, the first back throw. He is stacked up and driven to the turf. Watch out on that late slam to the turf.
Rory Prelo made a nice play, but then he
Brian Dietz was the ball carrier.
tried to send a signal to Brian Dietz, and you got to be careful because Hoboken gave up 15 yards earlier in the game. They enabled Sparta to score a touchdown, Jim. But you see Rory Prelo, big guy, just tosses him aside, and sometimes an official will call a penalty.
Rory goes 235. Brian Dietz 135, and he threw him around like a sack of potatoes right there. Second down and 9. They swing it out to the big man, Sean Brown. Bangs his way, but a good hit. Right there came up number 55, Dan Bonilla. Came up, put a good lick on him.
Exactly right. Dan Bonilla did what he had to do from that outside linebacker position or defensive end. He made sure he got a piece of Brown. Now you see, he comes in, he gets a piece of him, and Wilbur Valdez is able to come in and finish him off. And that is no easy task, Jim, because Sean Brown is a powerful kid. Dan Bonilla, good tackling, and I guess that's what Ed Stinson tried to tell him. We need to tackle better. And also Louis Terso was on the bottom of that pile. And Joe Sakala on top of it.
Brings up a 3rd and long for Sparta. And Sparta called another timeout. On the field comes Coach Pat Shea. And I believe Sparta's called their second timeout of the half already, not even into the fourth quarter. That will leave them only with one timeout.
And again, when we come back, we'll have some more action here as Red Wings lead 14-6, looking for their second straight championship state final victory.
In today's stressful world, it's important to take time to do something good for yourself. Bevi Natural Food Centers has served its customers with the finest natural foods and health products since 1970. From natural cosmetics to supplements, you'll find it at Bevi. Stop into either of our 2 convenient locations and let Bevi help you help yourself. Bevi Natural Food Centers, 6302 Bergen Line Avenue, West New York, 4005 Bergen Line Avenue, Union City.
For carpet, tile, linoleum, remnants, stop into Consumer Carpets. Choose from our many styles and colors here in our own warehouse and showroom. Consumer Carpets offers the latest in carpet and linoleum at unbeatable prices. Call 792-2712 for your free shop-at-home estimate, and your carpet will be installed within 48 hours. So for low prices on hundreds of carpets, tile, and linoleum, there's only one place to shop. It's Consumer Carpets, conveniently located at 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights section.
For fun and excitement the entire family can enjoy, bring them down to Bullwright Lanes. Bullwright has recently renovated its lanes and has a state-of-the-art computerized scoring system. Come in and let us assist you in our pro shop and enjoy the friendly atmosphere at our snack bar and lounge. The whole family can enjoy the fun at Bullwright Lanes, 714 Summit Avenue, Union City, 864-2667.
Car Audio and Security Designers has outstanding values on all accessories. Digital AM/FM pull-out tape deck starting at $99. In-dash digital AM/FM tape decks, $99 installed. Pioneer detachable base radios starting at $199. Denon radios with CD changer control starting at $219. And kicker boxes starting at $95. Car Audio and Security Designers, Patterson Plank Road, behind the Coach House Diner, North Bergen.
Levy Sports Center in West New York, New Jersey since 1937 is the headquarters for the serious athlete. Levy specializes in custom team uniforms, jackets, athletic equipment, trophies, and awards for teams, leagues, businesses, and schools at discount prices. Levy's has a large selection of football and soccer equipment and shoes. Mention this ad and receive an additional 10% discount. Levy's at 6118 Bergen Line Avenue, West New York. Your plan for every sport fan.
You can't get a tailor's fit at a department store. You can only get it at Vihan Tailors. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. Vihan's been the name in custom men's clothing. You'll find quality suits imported from Italy. At Vihan's, you're dealing with the owners, not salespeople, so you can be sure you'll get the best fit. At Vihan's, a custom-made suit is not as expensive as you think. You can get one for about the same price as off the rack. And now Vihan's has free parking for your added convenience. Vihan's, 60th and Bergen Line in West New York.
We are back, 3rd and long for the Spartans. 3:20 to go in the third. They trail by 8. Justin Potts back to throw. Yet to complete a ball in the second half. Lays it up, picked off by Wilbur Valdez. He had to cover John all the way.
Wilbur Valdez from his inside linebacker position shows why he was an all-county player this year. But they got a good rush on Justin Potts, and Potts trying to throw back the other way. Right here, Jimmy tries to go back the other way, and Wilbur Valdez following 45, Sean Brown. You know one thing, Sean Brown's not going to outrun Wilbur Valdez, and Wilbur was able to kind of trail.
Tough throw for a quarterback to make. Rolling left, throwing off the back foot with his right arm. It just floated, and that's the second interception of the day for the Red Wings. Casey had one in the first, so they take over on the 37. Here's Casey, first down, hands it to Anderson. Anderson off the right side, takes a bank, keeps going forward, takes on about the whole Sparta team. This is the area where things get a little rough.
Well, these guys are hitting, Jimmy. I mean, there's a lot on the line right now. This is the last game for these seniors. This is a state championship game, and guys are going to give it everything they have right now.
Clock rolls on, about 2:30 to go in the third quarter.
How about Wilbur Valdez, a former tight end? Last year in the state championship at Giant Stadium, he played the tight end position, shows those good hands on that interception, and this year he was converted to a fullback.
Long second down for Hoboken right here. Casey has not thrown a pass yet. Casey hands off to Terso. Terso looking for him on the right side. Maybe got a face mask there.
I think
no penalty yet.
Well, the face mask definitely got touched, but the official kept the flag.
That'll be a 5-yarder. Oh no, it's a personal foul he's calling. That didn't seem like one of the pull and yank face masks. Let's see how many yards they mark off. You take another look.
Exactly. You see right here, Terso is going to get, Thomas is going to get a piece of Terso's face mask. He didn't pull it, but I'm not sure if the high school rule says any time a mask is pulled, it's a 15-yard penalty. I don't know if they have the same rule.
And they're going to walk off 15 big ones. Wow. That is a big call right there. Ball will go all the way down inside the 20. We'll listen into our referee.
In other words, I'm not sure if any time you touch the face mask in high school football, it's an automatic 15-yard penalty. It's not like the NFL, where if you touch the mask, they'll give you a 5 or a 15.
A judgment call.
In high school, I think it's an automatic 15-yard penalty.
So 15 yards marked off.
And there you see.
Puts the ball at the 19-yard line. Pat Shea, what a job he's done in his 5th year. Came over from Monsignor Donovan in Toms River.
Beat Passaic Valley, the top seed, and unbeaten Passaic Valley, 14-0 at Passaic Valley.
First down, here's Casey, gets to Anderson, and look out! He ran into a train named Sean Brown.
So Sean Brown says, hey, I can play some defense too, fellas.
Sean Brown came into the game with 79 tackles on the year. From his linebacker spot on the blitz, Pat Shea told me and you before the game they really like to send these guys on the defense on some stunts and blitzes. A lot of movement on that defense. You see it right there.
Well, they're proving it was no fluke when they beat the top seed, Passaic Valley. This team plays defense. They swarm to the football, and they're very well coached. And right now they're giving Hoboken everything they can handle.
Loss of 3 on the play. 2nd and long. Here's Casey. Fakes a handoff, looking to throw his first pass. Casey, flush right. He's got a man deep in the end zone, lets it fly short. Oh, going down. Maybe the only place he could have put it.
Exactly. You said it was short, Jim, but exactly. That was the only place where you want to throw that football so it's not intercepted. Casey put it where it had to be, but Juan Lopez kind of short-hopped into his chest. But if you put that ball anywhere else, it might be going the other way, and a good throw by Rashard Casey.
See Juan Lopez at the bottom of your screen. See Lou Terso right there. But Casey saw his man in the end zone. Let it fly, coming right at you. You catch this one, Anthony.
Well, I try to catch it. I drop it too, and
right into the end zone. So that'll bring up a 3rd and long. And you know, you got to think right now, a game like this, an 8-point game, 3rd down, the ball outside the 20. Ed Stinson's got a guy who can kick a field goal in Donnie Huggins.
Excellent point. The weapon that he has in Donnie Huggins and the confidence that he has in Donnie, who is a senior and has had an outstanding career. He's probably cost Hoboken some money in those footballs that he's kicked over the wall.
But Ed Stinson has the confidence, 40 yards and in, to bring Donnie Huggins out there. We'll see, though. 3rd and 13. Will he be necessary? Casey, one looking again. Throws it. It's got to be. What a catch by Rory Prelo into the end zone. The one-arm bandit Rory Prelo brought it in.
Rory Prelo, who last year was an offensive lineman, and they said, you know what? We love Rory Prelo's hands. We're going to make him a tight end. Boy, did he make the coaching staff look good on that one. He put that big hand out there. He brought it in, and that's 6 points right there, Jim, when Hoboken needed it.
Take another look. Rory Prelo released. Casey lofted it up. Rory got the big left hand up, took it in, and that could be the play of the year for Hoboken right now.
I'll tell you, Rory Prelo made this look so easy. Casey got the ball right out there, and Rory Prelo, look how easy he made this play. It was not an easy play, just brought the ball right into the other hand, and then it caught, I think, Sparta off guard a little bit, because they probably haven't seen Rory Prelo catch a lot of footballs this year, but
extra point, flags fly everywhere, a lot of motion on the line. And if this is a penalty against Sparta, you got to see what Ed Stinson will do. I know it's against Hoboken. They'll move it back a little deeper, still right in Donnie Huggins' range. But Rory Prelo making like Jerry Rice on that one. The one-hander brought it in.
6'2", 235-pound junior. Makes probably his biggest catch of his career.
A 14-point lead right now for Hoboken. Donnie Huggins out there to make it 15 and a 25-yard field goal, extra point. The snap, the kick, and look at that. Would have been good from 35. Donnie Huggins is just money in the bank.
Well, you know, Hoboken needed a play, Jim. They needed something to happen, and Ed Stinson finally said, number 12, Rashard, let's get it done. Casey rolled out. He found Prelo. You saw him roll out the play before that, and he had Lopez. So Ed Stinson knew he needed something big to happen. He had to get some separation here in this game between Sparta, and he gave the call to number 12 to get it done.
Rashard Casey, 1 for 2 on the day, and Ed Stinson puts it bluntly. He says, you know what? If Casey was in a throwing system, he'd have a heck of a lot more completions and yardage. He still threw for over 1,000, but with all these weapons I got in the backfield, he's got to conform to the system.
But I think that the job that Sparta has done today, forcing turnovers and slowing down Hoboken's running game, although Ravone Anderson has had a great game, it's just been really Ravone. I think they finally said, Rashard, make us a play.
Rory Prelo, 22-yard TD. The kick goes into the end zone. Donnie Huggins is having a good day.
And he scores a goal, too.
Title. Puts it in, that's right.
Give us your goal. Go.
World Cup is over. Donnie Huggins will pull the old sneaker switch, puts his turf shoe back on, takes off the old kicking shoe, the one lined with lead. Just kidding.
And what a weapon that is to have Donnie Huggins, who can really put an end to a kick return type of team. You talked to Coach Shea before the game. He had some confidence in some of his return men, but when Donnie Huggins is kicking the ball like that, he kind of take them out of the game.
15 points the deficit for Sparta. 48 seconds to go in the third quarter. First down play. Potts keeps it. Rolls around the right side. Nowhere to go. Potts tries to escape. Makes a few yards out of nothing, but he'll go down to the turf after about picking up 3.
Well, somebody from the outside of Hoboken, I think it was either Lopez or Terso, cut off the outside, and he forced him to cut back in. Right here, there was a player outside who made Potts come back in, and then Rashard Casey making a tackle. So Rashard gets an interception, then he gets a tackle on the opposing quarterback. He's doing it on both sides of the football today.
Second down and 5. This could be the last play of the third quarter. Here's Potts. Gives to Brown. Brown through. Brown working his way. Look at this guy. Takes a load ahead. Will pick up the first down. Clock will stop momentarily to reset the change, and that should be the final play of the quarter.
Well, Jim, it's decision time now for Sparta because this is what they like to do. They like to drive, they like to hold on to the football, and they like to eat time off the clock. But they can no longer do that with 1 quarter left in the game. There's going to have to be a faster pace for them. They may have to air the ball out, which they like to do. But maybe Hoboken says, okay, we'll let Sean Brown run for his 3 or 4 yards, but we're not going to let them beat us long.
Absolutely, because the clock will just keep rolling and rolling. And if you look up at the clock now, it says that the Hoboken Red Wings are 12 minutes away from going back-to-back in Group 3, Section 1. The fourth quarter's next. We're back.
In today's stressful world, it's important to take time to do something good for yourself. Bevi Natural Food Centers has served its customers with the finest natural foods and health products since 1970. From natural cosmetics to supplements, you'll find it at Bevi. Stop into either of our 2 convenient locations and let Bevi help you help yourself. Bevi Natural Food Centers, 6302 Bergen Line Avenue, West New York, 4005 Bergen Line Avenue, Union City.
Or carpet, tile, linoleum, remnants, stop into Consumer Carpets. Choose from our many styles and colors here in our own warehouse and showroom. Consumer Carpets offers the latest in carpet and linoleum at unbeatable prices. Call 792-2712 for your free shop-at-home estimate, and your carpet will be installed within 48 hours. So for low prices on hundreds of carpets, tile, and linoleum, there's only one place to shop. It's Consumer Carpets, conveniently located at 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights section.
For fun and excitement the entire family can enjoy, bring them down to Bullwright Lanes. Bullwright has recently renovated its lanes and has a state-of-the-art computerized scoring system. Come in and let us assist you in our pro shop and enjoy the friendly atmosphere at our snack bar and lounge. The whole family can enjoy the fun at Bullwright Lanes, 714 Summit Avenue, Union City, 864-2667.
Car Audio and Security Designers has outstanding values on all accessories. Digital AM/FM pull-out tape deck starting at $99. In-dash digital AM/FM tape decks, $99 installed. Pioneer detachable base radios starting at $199. Denon radios with CD changer control starting at $219. And kicker boxes starting at $95. Car Audio and Security Designers, Patterson Plank Road, behind the Coach House Diner, North Bergen.
Levy Sports Center in West New York, New Jersey since 1937 is the headquarters for the serious athlete. Levy specializes in custom team uniforms, jackets, athletic equipment, trophies, and awards for teams, leagues, businesses, and schools at discount prices. Levy's has a large selection of football and soccer equipment and shoes. Mention this ad and receive an additional 10% discount. Levy's at 6118 Bergen Line Avenue, West New York. Your plan for every sport fan.
You can't get a tailor's fit at a department store. You can only get it at Vihan Tailors. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. Vihan's been the name in custom men's clothing. You'll find quality suits imported from Italy. At Vihan's, you're dealing with the owners, not salespeople, so you can be sure you'll get the best fit. At Vihan's, a custom-made suit is not as expensive as you think. You can get one for about the same price as off the rack. And now Vihan's has free parking for your added convenience. Vihan's, 60th and Bergen Line in West New York.
The Winds over JFK have the Red Wings out with a 15-point lead as we enter the fourth and final stanza of this ball game. Fourth quarter time. Hoboken leads 21-6. Jim Cavallo, Anthony Fusilli, the whole Cablevision of Hudson County game bringing you the state final. Here's Justin Potts on 1st and 10 for the Sparta Spartans. They trail. Potts looking again, has not had a good second half throwing the ball. See what the fourth quarter presents. Lets it fly. Intercepted. Did it hit the ground? Yes, it did. Wilbur Valdez almost got his paws on it for the interception.
Jim, that time they got a good pass rush from Rory Prelo and also Joe Cicala. Rory Prelo forced him up the middle. He went outside, and Joe Cicala was there, number 31, to kind of force him to throw a bad pass. You'll see 31 and 57 come in late. And Wilbur Valdez, that's where you draw it up. You get the inside guys to force him outside. You get the outside guys to kind of force him into a bad pass. And then Wilbur Valdez trails and just waits for the ball and didn't get the interception this time, but they was in position.
Potts 0 for 3 in the second half with an interception.
That was real close, too.
Here's 2nd down and 10. Little delayed draw goes to Brown. Sean Brown straight up the gut, banging his way across the 35-yard line up to about the 40. He'll be about 2 yards shy of the first down, but the clock will roll on. 11:30 to go in the fourth.
Jim, back to that Rory Prelo touchdown for a second. You know, when he caught that ball, he was in the shade. And it's even more difficult to catch that ball in one hand because you're looking back and it's a lot brighter, and just an outstanding catch that has seemed to give Hoboken some more life, get the crowd more into the game, and they can kind of sense now that if they can slow down Sean Brown, it could be their second consecutive championship.
Here's Potts on 3rd and 1. Potts, oh, look at this. Potts is going to call Sparta's 3rd timeout. That will do it for them. So with 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, if this game ever got close, Potts has got no timeouts.
And at this time, we want to thank again Lisa's on 10th, and we're going to be having the Lisa on 10th player of the game down here in Hoboken.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully we'll send the guys over to Mike Lisa so he can feed them like he does probably all year. Let them have anything they want on that menu, and it's a pretty wide menu of good Italian food. You got those 6-foot sandwiches, you got the eggplant, you got the ziti, steak sandwiches, you name it, they got it. Lisa's on 10th. Also KNC breaks in North Bergen for all of Jimmy Cavallo's brake needs. And Jimmy, I heard that on the way down here you had to pull over, and any brake problems?
No brake problems for me, but if I have any, I'll certainly head over there. After I have a little lunch at Lisa's, I go for brakes, and I wind up the day at Sporting Goods.
Stan the man. Stan the man on Washington Avenue in Hoboken.
Fill the tree with Stan the man. Here we go, Sparta, big play, 3rd and 1. A long one at that. Hands off, it's Brown. Brown will get the first down. Plow straight ahead over the 40-yard line.
Like I said, number 2, Wilbur Valdez, and number 45, Sean Brown, will have a lot of respect for each other at the end of this game, and they'll also be wearing a lot of each other's uniforms, and their helmets will have some red, and Wilbur will have some of that baby blue on his helmet also, because both of those guys are going toe-to-toe, and you see Terso mixing up, trying to slow down the big running back. Right now, Hoboken trying to put a stop to Sparta, who is again trying to slay another power in the state of New Jersey. They upset Passaic Valley 14-0 in the first round of playoffs, and now they're trying to come back here against Hoboken.
1st and 10 for Potts. Potts back to pass. That's not completed one in the second half. Feels the pressure, steps up, shovels one back to Brown. That's a loose ball. Hoboken going for it, and they got it. Oh, it might have been a bad decision by Justin Potts. He tried to shovel one, just trying to make something happen to Sean Brown. The ball came loose, and who was there to pick it up? Number
Cicala.
31, Joey Cicala.
Well, how about Rory Prelo, number 1? I tell you, Rory Prelo, we've seen him at times this year just take over a football game. There he is. Big Rory Prelo comes in there, and he forces Potts to fumble the football or try to make a play that he shouldn't have made. Number 1 gets a great rush, and all of a sudden Potts sees number 1 in front of him, because I better get out of here. And all of a sudden Potts tries to make something out of nothing. He kind of shoveled it off to Sean Brown, who couldn't hold on to it. And like you said, that's a fumble. Steve Beerson, and also number 78 for Hoboken, Arnold Alfano. Good job of keeping Sean away from the football so that Sakala could recover it.
Out comes Hoboken. They're going to try and keep this ball on the ground and stay in bounds. Anderson around the left side. Anderson looking for him, steps out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. He will pick up the first down and stop the clock with 9:57 to go.
There you see they go back to what got them some good success in the first half. Ravone Anderson has a knack of getting outside, good speed. And this is what makes Hoboken dangerous. Sparta's done a good job of slowing down the fullback, and that's usually what Hoboken likes to do. They like to give the ball to Wilbur Valdez up the middle, and then everything else comes off of that. But Ravone Anderson has had some running room today.
So here's Casey on 1st and 10, ball at about the 24. Hands it off straight ahead to Valdez. He's got room. Big Wilbur's rumbling. Nobody's going to stop him. Touchdown, Hoboken.
Well, as soon as I said Sparta did a good job of slowing down Wilbur Valdez, Wilbur might have heard me, and he said, not today. I'm not shut down. This is my last game as a senior. I'm going out in style.
24 yards goes Wilbur Valdez for the touchdown. And that, my friends, might put the finishing touches on the back-to-back state titles.
Nice blocking up front again. Andre Bolden and Ruben Gonzalez have had a strong game. They give Wilbur Valdez a nice hole to run through, and Wilbur knew what to do when he got the football. Right here, both guys trap block right there. Andre Bolden with a good block. Credit all the guys up front. Arnold Alfano, also number 72, Lee Kwan, getting the job done, and Wilbur Valdez took advantage of it.
And what looks like a good run all starts with the interior offensive line. They opened up the hole. Here's Donnie Huggins for the extra point.
Also number 74, Lenny Aberhoff, as the extra point is good. Give number 74, Lenny, some credit also.
Donnie Huggins blasts one through. Our score now is 28-6, a 22-point lead for the Hoboken Red Wings, and a little bit of early celebration going on in the stands right now. Red Wings fans dressed in their red and white garb, starting to slap high fives a little bit, passing out some hugs. But Wilbur Valdez, the senior, might have just capped off a tremendous career at Hoboken. 24 yards he goes, following the blockers. It looks like it's Red Wing time at JFK. We're back.
In today's stressful world, it's important to take time to do something good for yourself.
New York, New Jersey, since 1937, is the headquarters for the serious athlete. Levy specializes in custom team uniforms, jackets, athletic equipment, trophies, and awards for teams, leagues, businesses, and schools at discount prices. Levy's has a large selection of football and soccer equipment and shoes. Mention this ad and receive an additional 10% discount. Levy's at 6118 Bergen Line Avenue, West New York. Your plan for every sports fan.
You can't get a tailor's fit at a department store. You can only get it at Vihan Tailors. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. Vihan's been the name in custom men's clothing. You'll find quality suits imported from Italy. At Vihan's, you're dealing with the owners, not salespeople, so you can be sure you'll get the best fit. At Vihan's, a custom-made suit is not as expensive as you think. You can get one for about the same price as off the rack. And now Vihan's has free parking for added convenience. Vihan's, 60th and Bergen Line in West New York.
Back we are with the kickoff after Hoboken opens up the 28-6 lead. Ball is picked up by number 11, Brian Dietz. Dietz looking to provide a spark. He took a lip. Willie Bird around.
Number 11 showing something on their special teams today. Mike Borkham, the young player for Hoboken. He is the third-string quarterback, I believe, Jim, and a player we may be seeing here in the future for Hoboken. And he comes down. He finds number 11. He spins him around. And he puts down Brian Dietz.
Take a look at Dietz right here. He'll get a little pop right there, pop low and a pop high. Actually, that was 28.
Well, actually, number 11's right there, and he's got a different color helmet. So 28 and 11.
We'll give Keon Walker a little credit there, too.
A little credit, too. And also a penalty against Sparta that will back them up.
Well, Sparta's in all-throw situation now. 9:42 to go.
I think it might have been a clip on Louis Terso. Louis was another guy down there trying to disrupt that play.
9:42 left to go in the fourth quarter. Sparta trails by 22 points, and Justin Potts is going to have to start airing this thing out. Receiver split wide right and left. Preston Gagg and Brian Dietz. Potts over center. Potts. He'll hand it off to Brown. Brown looking for the left side. Brown pick up about 1 or 2 on the play, but he stays in bounds and the clock will roll on.
And he stays in bounds and he goes down because Louis Terso was one of the first guys there again for Hoboken. And, you know, Jim, Ed Stinson has a huge task ahead of him. How do you rebuild this team when you lose a guy like number 20, the heart and soul of this team, and a guy like Wilbur Valdez and Andre Bolden and Richard Casey? The seniors have really done a great job here at Hoboken.
Here's second down for Sparta. Potts looking to throw, yet to complete one in the second half. Potts flushed out, being chased by Anderson. Circles back around, and Potts is in a heap of trouble. Potts better get rid of it. He does here. A man releases incomplete, but Potts lucky just to get out of a disaster right there.
You know, Jim, some of our younger viewers, and I'm only 30 years old, but Fran Tarkenton was a great analogy by Ed Stinson. He said he reminds him of Fran Tarkenton. And look at this. He runs left, and he says, nothing's there. Let me go backwards. He goes backwards, and he says, oh, maybe I don't go this way. I'll go that way. He drives Rapone Anderson crazy, and then he finds a receiver open and immediately made an outstanding play.
Just a competitor, Justin Potts is. A guy who displays all kinds of athleticism, doesn't give up on any play, and is not willing to give up on any play. And that's why you're looking at the Sparta Spartans in the final right now. And that'll bring up a third down and long for Sparta right now. And they got to hope something happens. They got to hope to get a big play touchdown and then make a big play touchdown on defense. Because right now, their number one opponent is the clock. With 8:33 to go, they're down 3 touchdowns in this ball game. Potts brings his team up. Receivers split wide right. Kelly Stevens and Mike Manessy. Here's Potts looking to throw. He's looking for Stevens and Manessy. Potts keeps this one. Potts looking. Potts looking. Goes down this time. First man to get him was number 57, Steve Burson.
The young sophomore for Hoboken, and he'll be around for the next couple of years, and that's the kind of experience you like in the finals. Your sophomore linebacker makes a big play. Not easy to tackle this guy. We've seen that all day, but Bonilla kind of seals it off and forces him back inside. Rory Prelo's coming. Beerson's coming. And those two guys have done a good job. Rory Prelo, I guess the clock hit a number, and Rory Prelo decided it's time to start taking his game over.
Kelly Stevens in to punt for Sparta.
The bell tolled for Rory Prelo.
Stevens punts it away. Richard Casey takes a look at it, and Casey might have a moment here. Casey heads upfield. Casey, look out! Richard Casey crosses over, heads to the 30-yard line. He's still going. Richard Casey, and you can tell things are starting to open up for Hoboken. Sparta, the legs are starting to get a little heavier for the Spartans, and Hoboken is sensing victory.
How about Richard Casey? He says, hey, let me get involved in this, guys. Everybody's having a good day today. Why not me? He finally gets an opportunity to field a punt, and he knows what to do with the ball. Once he gets it, puts a nice move on, and if not for a nice tackle by the quarterback, I believe, Potts, Richard Casey might have had 6.
Outstanding camera work right there by my man Bernie on the sidelines. A tough day. A lot of people on the sidelines today. Bernie's had his hands full, but he's come through admirably. There's Casey on first down. Ball's inside the 20-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground to Valdez. Valdez takes a couple pops, just wants to keep on to the ball. Hoboken had a little trouble with the fumbles today, but they survived them. None of the turnovers turned into points late in the ball game, and that's what's the important thing when you start turning that ball over. Does the other team capitalize? Take another look, and Hoboken just really, at this point, putting the finishing touches on a perfect season. 11-0. They will go, and they will be partying at Lisa's on 10th tonight.
And
all the great tradition at Lisa's. And
Jim, in a small way, maybe this one goes to Mike Lisa's uncle, Jimmy Lisa, who was an outstanding football player here at Hoboken, and the Lisa family had a tradition of great running backs here down in Hoboken, and he passed away, and maybe this one will make Jimmy smile up there.
Jimmy Lisa, the police dispatcher, suffered a fatal heart attack. And talk about that Lisa family. John, Charles, Bobby, and Jimmy, and really some of the cornerstones of Hoboken football. And we just sent out our sympathy to the loss of Jimmy Lisa, really a Hoboken legend. And there you take a look at the coach for the Sparta Spartans, Pat Shea. He'll be back. Look at this guy. This is what you like about high school football. Pat Shea still coaching his heart out over there. He's a young guy. He knows he's going to get it still into it, even though he trails by 22 points with the clock running out, 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. But they got here, and only one team gets here to the final in Section 1, Group 3. Hoboken keeping the ball on the ground. You won't see Ed Stinson pull any funny business here. Just going to take it straight ahead, try and run that clock out. Louis Terso taking his last couple snaps for the Red Wings. A spectacular career for him, and just everybody contributes on this team. You look at Hoboken, and a couple years ago you might have said Rashard Casey's the star of that team, but not in the last 2 years, boy. They have distributed around under the leadership of that man right there, Ed Stinson. 13 years at the helm at the program, the last 9 straight. He'll win his second title in a row.
And give some credit to his coaching staff also. They're going to try a field goal, but they're going to have to call a timeout. Look at the coaching staff of Joe Rotundi, Lou Taglieri, Joe Terso, John Peluso, Dom Luciano, and Chipper Benway. They make up a good staff for Ed Stinson, and they, a coaching staff spends a lot of time with each other, and these guys spend endless time trying to devise ways to beat their opponent and to win football games. And you have to say the last 2 years they've lost one football game, Jim. They've done an outstanding job.
And Hoboken, just a little bit right here, is going to line up for a field goal, and it is a good play. 5:22 to go. They're up by 22 points. A field goal will make it 25, and that virtually takes any possibilities out. That would mean that Sparta would have to score 4 times to come back. 3 touchdowns with 3 two-point conversions would only give them 24. They still fall a point short. So this will be the ultimate nail in the coffin, so to speak, for Sparta.
And there's another analogy. Is Ed Stinson playing for rankings right now? Is he trying to put some more points on the board so that his
victory looked that more impressive? I don't think so, because, there still is 5 minutes to go. Crazier things have happened. I mean, we all remember watching the highlights of that high school game in Texas last year where teams are scoring touch minutes.
Any truth to the rumor going around that at the end of the game you're on top of that water tower with the player of the game?
Yes, I will bungee jump off the tower with Ed Stinson after the game if they should win.
We'll ask him.
All right, here's Donnie Huggins looking to get his name in the state finals book for a field goal. The snap. A missile through the uprights.
And it went over the wall. I think they'll be able to get it, but Donnie Huggins does what he's done so many times here at JFK Stadium. He sent footballs flying over the wall. And he has had a tremendous career here. Another senior who they will desperately miss.
36-yard field goal for Donnie Huggins, and hit all the extra points today. And we spoke about how extra points were so important because this is December. The wind howls. The ball is cold. It's like a rock. But Donnie Huggins has made his presence felt today.
So has Ravone Anderson. He's got 145 yards on 13 carries, a touchdown. Obviously, he's going to be one of the guys, one of the players of the game. And look at this, Jim. Jeff Hennig.
It's unbelievable.
Captain Hennig.
October, November, and now December is Captain Hennig. With the wins at his back, he came out to see Hoboken win their second straight. An outstanding job by Captain Jeff.
That's dedication.
Here's the kickoff. Sparta takes it up to about the 25. And that's a new blimp Jeff is featuring right there. He brought the MetLife blimp in for repairs. He blew a rudder at the Group 1 championship in 2 weeks ago. He blew a rudder, so he went over and bought himself the Goodyear blimp.
That's a nice job by Goodyear to give him the blimp there.
He works on the blimp too. I've often seen him. He had to bring the MetLife blimp in for brakes, and of course, where'd he bring it?
Casey and Brakes in North Bergen.
And it's, while he was waiting to have the brakes put on, he went over to Lisa's, and then Lisa said she just put a tray of ziti in the oven, so he had a few more minutes, then he went to Stan's.
And Stan's being about 5 blocks from Lisa's on 10th. Took care of him, and you know what? They made Jeff Hennig look like the pro he is today up there in that Goodyear blimp.
It's getting ugly on our last football broadcast of the season, folks. Hang in there with us. Sparta takes over with 4:50 to go on first down. Here's a pass, a little option play. Brown lets it fly. Look at Casey. Look at this guy. One-hander hooks it in, and hold on to your hats here. Casey likes to run around. Casey, he won't give up on the play, but he'll be tackled, and an interception. Rashard Casey picks it off with the one hand, and the one hand has come through for everybody today. Rory Prelo with the big touchdown with the one hand. And there's Rashard Casey also playing his final game.
What about Rashard? You know, he likes to play baseball. He's a star on the baseball team, just playing center field. He says, oh, nope, let me get that ball. And they tried a little trick there with the halfback option, but good job by Rashard Casey. And finally they bring him down. Rashard Casey didn't come up. He said, hey, I'm waiting back here, Sean Brown.
And as the Red Wing fans stand here and look at the last few moments of this game, Rashard Casey, the next time they see Rashard Casey will probably be on ESPN or ABC or CBS playing for a major college football program, and they'll give one of the announcers of those games, they'll give a little mention that he comes out of Hoboken, New Jersey. Everybody say, yeah!
Well, you know, he's given us a thrill here broadcasting his games the last couple of years, and we only wish him the best of luck in whatever decision that he makes, whether he decides to stay home or goes away. Rashard Casey, a great, outstanding individual.
There's Casey, will hand off on first. Anderson takes it left side. Anderson working his way. Look at this. Ball comes loose again. And
Wilbur Valdez recovered it. And Wilbur was like, Sean Brown, he's taking it away. I'm going to have to recover it for you, Ravon.
You know what? I think when Ravon Anderson talks about this game 20 years from now, he'll mention he had the 82-yarder. He'll mention he went over 150 yards. He might not mention that he dropped the ball on the carpet 3 times.
I tell you, Sean Brown's got some strength. He's taking the ball out of running back's hands today. He's not giving up. Good job by Sean Brown, but Wilbur Valdez trailing the play, didn't give up on. He saw the ball there, and Wilbur Valdez always around the football.
Sean Brown's a football player, and he will certainly move on and play in the college ranks. Somebody out there's got to have their eye on Sean Brown. He can go to the next level.
You know, we talked about Casey, but how about number 20 and number 2 back there? There's Wilbur Valdez, 2 other kids who have, in part, a lot to do with the success for Hoboken the last 3 seasons. Wilbur Valdez, a linebacker probably on the next level, and he's got some interesting decisions to make, whether he'd like to stay home and go away. Wilbur, though, has been the leader of the defense. And Louis Terso, number 20, he could play for any team, I think. Any coach would want to have that type of player on their team because he gives it everything he has. And that's what Louis Terso has done over his career here in Hudson County.
Wilbur Valdez, as Ed Stinson says, is a Division I football player. He's got the size, 6'2", 235. Here's Casey on first down and hand it to Lou Terso. And Terso goes off the right side. Lou Terso. The kid is all heart. You mentioned Lou Terso, and you know, don't be dismayed by Lou Terso's size for playing at the next level. Lou Terso is all heart, and he's a playmaker. He knows every facet of the football game, offense, defense, special teams.
And I'll make an analogy. Lou Terso, in a lot of ways, he's not a Paul Q type running back, but Paul Q wasn't the biggest kid at St. Peter's. Paul Q did it with a lot of strength, and Louis Terso does it with the moves and the speed, but Paul Q proved he could play on the Division I AA level. He went out to Hofstra this year, had an outstanding season as a freshman, and I think Louis Terso could definitely get a scholarship and play at that level also.
Here's a handoff once again to Valdez, and you're right. Lou Terso's the guy. If he would go on to play at Division I, maybe 1 AA, and wear the number 20, he's the type of guy nobody would know who he is until the game starts, and they'd say, oh, there's that number 20 again. Hey, that number 20, he's in on it again.
And you know what?
Just gets involved.
He'd make them a winner, too, because that's what he's done here at Hoboken. He's been a winner.
Ed Stinson. And you take a look at the sidelines of both teams. Hey, they are here, and only 2 teams go to the finals in Group 3, Section 1, and it was Sparta and Hoboken in 1995. Hoboken just a little too much offensive power for Sparta on this day. And there's a handoff into the ball game. Is Dion Casey.
So the
Sean Casey's brother, and you spoke about before, what will Ed Stinson do after this year? Well, this is what he'll do. He'll put the ball in Dion Casey's hands. He'll let some of the younger guys, Ravon Anderson will be the featured back. You know, some of the younger guys will come through, and
number 50, Ruben Gonzalez will continue to block for him. You know, a good job by that offensive line up front today, Jim, too. They don't get a lot of mention, but guys like Lenny Aberhoff, Lee Kwan, Arnold Alfano, Andre Bolden starts up front for Hoboken. They love to move those guards. And I tell you, Ruben Gonzalez has been pulling all day today, and Andre Bolden too. They've done a great job.
You want to... Here's the one to Valdez off the left side. Valdez working his way forward. Look at Valdez inside the 5-yard line. And with 1:20 to go, the bucket over Ed Stinson watch will now begin. The lids are off the Gatorade buckets on the sidelines in preparation for the Ed Stinson shower.
And you know what, Jimmy? It's cold out there, but it's going to happen. Because they are circling the buckets.
All on the 4-yard line now. 1:10 to go in the fourth quarter. You know, I might not want to be the guy to dump the bucket over Ed Stinson.
Well, look at it this way, Jim. You're a senior. You're not playing for him anymore.
That's true.
You take that big bucket, you jump it on Ed Stinson, and you run fast, and you make sure you didn't take the number.
Lou Terso off the right side, and there you go. It's almost fitting. Lou Terso, a kid who's meant so much to the Red Wing program, genuflex in prayer, and he has certainly answered the prayers of Red Wing fans over the past couple of years. And Lou Terso, a senior, with probably the last carry of his career, and his quarterback, Rashard Casey, pats him on the head, and that is good to see, Anthony.
Well, you know, Sparta's not going to be happy with this late touchdown that Hoboken scored. You know that the coaching staff is not going to think highly of Ed Stinson giving the football to Louis Terso. You got to be happy for Louis Terso because he got a chance to score one last touchdown here at Hoboken. But if you're the coaching staff of Sparta, you kind of say, hey, enough is enough.
The bucket is in Valdez and Anderson's hands. They better look out. We need the Harry Carson cam on the sidelines. They're making their way towards Stinson.
And it's Ravone Anderson and Wilbur Valdez and Eddie Stinson.
There it goes. Stinson just got the bucket treatment. Ed Stinson. It's not as cold as it could be on December 1st, and you see him right there.
Ravone, it was Wilbur Valdez, I think he got the most satisfaction out of that one, the big senior. He kind of just dumped it on him and just had a nice little grin on his face.
And an extremely gutsy move by a junior, Anderson, to throw the bucket over his coach, because, you know, summer camp is only about 9 months away.
Well, like I said, that's why you want to be a senior day. You want to jump that bucket on him, and you want to make sure you get out of the area. But Wilbur Valdez dumped it, and then he stood there.
Hey, party on with the Red Wings. This one is in the books. And when it goes back to 95, the bucket shower for Eddie Stinson. He goes back-to-back in Group 3. Come on back. We'll finish this one out after this.
In today's stressful world, it's important to take time to do something good for yourself. Bevi Natural Food Centers has served its customers with the finest natural foods and health products since 1970. From natural cosmetics to supplements, you'll find it at Bevi. Stop into either of our 2 convenient locations and let Bevi help you help yourself. Bevi Natural Food Centers, 6302 Bergen Line Avenue, West New York, 4005 Bergen Line Avenue, Union City.
Or carpet, tile, linoleum, remnants, stop into Consumer Carpets. Choose from our many styles and colors here in our own warehouse and showroom. Consumer Carpets offers the latest in carpet and linoleum at unbeatable prices. Call 792-2712 for your free shop-at-home estimate, and your carpet will be installed within 48 hours. So for low prices on hundreds of carpets, tile, and linoleum, there's only one place to shop. It's Consumer Carpets, conveniently located at 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights section.
You see it? And we're back. A mere formality now.
Somebody
will kick it off.
Somebody get Ed Stinson a towel or a robe or a jacket
or a sauna. Ball's kicked off. The Sparta rolls around. Picked up by number 30, Kevin Wyatt. He's tackled right away.
A late flag gets thrown in too, Jim, and I think it might be
tackle made.
2 late flags get thrown now.
All right, we don't want to see anything get ugly now. Tackle made by Omar Dyer, number 82.
Number 52 for Sparta looks to be injured. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
Clark Wickender. Hopefully Clark's all right. He's a junior.
Clark played an outstanding game today, Jim, along with number 55, Mark Mastandria.
And you know what? Just take a look at this Sparta team. Justin Potts, a senior, closes out his career. Really didn't have the day throwing, but it was a tough one to throw in December. But an outstanding year for Justin Potts. Came in with 12 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards throwing, 92 for 144. And Pat Shea got the most out of Justin Potts. And Sean Brown came into this game needing 77 yards to go over 1,000. He certainly got that. 100 yards in the first half with Sean Brown. He goes over 1,000 yards for the season in the state final. He'll be a senior and graduating on. And take a look at Potts right now, just finishing out, and ball's tipped around. It's going to be picked off. And that looks to be number 5, Dion Casey. Dion's not done yet. He'll go down.
Dion Casey says to his big brother, hey, I can top that one. But you look at Sparta, Jim, and you look at that sideline. Not a lot of kids on that Sparta team, and not a big school, but they gave it everything they had today, and for 2 quarters they looked like they were going to shock Hoboken.
They were right there.
But I think the bigger and more experienced Hoboken team kind of wore them down in the end. I know they didn't wear down Sean Brown, but I think the rest of the Red Wings may have wore down Sparta. And
it was an outstanding year for Sparta. You look at guys like Mark Mastrandria, came into this game with 84 tackles, and the offensive line who did such a great job for Sean Brown through the course of the season. Chris Smith, Clark Wickander, Mastrandria's on the offensive line, Adam Hoja, Chris Smith, like you said, Todd Ferguson, the tight end. But ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, the balloons are released. The balloons are released at JFK because the Group 3 Section 1 title for the 2nd year in a row goes to the Red Wings and Rashard Casey. An outstanding career.
Congratulations to Hoboken. Your Red Wings are champs. And it looks like our player of the game would have to be Wilbur Valdez, and also Ravone Anderson. As the team shake hands, Jim.
Shake hands, always one of the greatest rituals in sports, the post-game handshake between 2 teams that were really out there getting at each other. Some big hitting going on. And
Ravone Anderson, 13 carries, 152 yards, a touchdown. Wilbur Valdez, 11 rushes, 95 yards, a touchdown. Those 2 guys are our leases on 10th player of the game, along with Rashard Casey. And you got to have the big fella, number 1.
Rory Prelo, the play of the game, the one-handed catch that gave them the lead after they were up 8, gave them a 14-point lead on a 3rd down and 13. Rory Prelo put up his big paw, pulled it in, went 22 yards for the touchdown, and Eddie Stinson is back-to-back 11-0 champion.
Well, when we come back, we will have the post-game. The Leafs are on 10th player of the game. Rashard Casey gets a big hug because everybody here has witnessed the end of a great career. We'll talk to Rashard and the rest of the Red Wings.
After this, hugs for everybody, even Anthony. Come on back, the post game is next. Look out, Coach!